Well, we have some breaking news. Elon Musk has officially bought Twitter. Well, at least the Twitter board has accepted his offer. So it looks like he's actually buying Twitter, which I think is just remarkable. Now, a couple days ago, this wasn't like really a bold prediction. This is just a couple days ago. I said, I think Elon ends up with Twitter. It's clear that he wants it, and the guy usually ends up getting what he wants. Now, that's part of the reason that I thought that he would end up with it. But in reality, I saw that Elon Musk was not joking around with this bid. It seemed like he actually wanted to own Twitter. And being on Twitter a little bit, I've been on it a bit. I have around 13,000 followers now, so it's not nearly as big as YouTube. But I noticed that Elon Musk uses Twitter a lot. He's on it all the time, posting all the time. So he's a huge, heavy user of the application. And now he's actually buying it. Now, we're going to go through this news. There's a lot to get to. We have reports that Twitter's locking down some of their key features and access from developers to potentially prevent rogue employees that are disgruntled by Elon buying the company from doing any funny business. We have the statement from Elon Musk saying what he plans on doing, the reason that he purchased the company. And then we have the write-up from the Wall Street Journal going over the specifics of the deal. So we'll be going over all of this. Now, first of all, let's go ahead and talk about this deal and why I thought it would happen. I thought this deal would happen. I thought it had a really good chance of happening because there was motivation. Elon clearly likes the product Twitter. He's on the thing all the time using it, and he cares about free speech. I actually think that he's genuine in that aspect. So there was motivation, and he also has means. The guy has plenty of money to be able to afford Twitter. He could sell a little bit of Tesla if he really wanted to, if he wanted to do it without using leverage. But he's not going to sell Tesla. I don't think that's the way that he's going to finance this deal. The way that it looks like it's going to be financed right now is through a combination of debt. So he is levering up to be able to buy this, plus equity commitments of around $21 billion. So that's a lot of leverage that he's using to buy the company, but I think he'll be okay. So as of right now, it doesn't look like he's selling any Tesla to buy Twitter. I don't think that that's happening. And just to be clear, if you own any Tesla stock, you do not own any Twitter because of this deal. It's not Tesla buying Twitter, it's Elon personally buying Twitter. So just to summarize the basics of this deal, Elon Musk wanted to buy Twitter for various reasons that we'll talk about in a minute. He has the financing and money to be able to afford to buy Twitter, and he offers Twitter and the board, the executive team, an offer of $44 billion, which is 36% above the price that Twitter was trading at before it was revealed that Elon Musk was ever involved in the company. 36% premium is that kind of premium where an executive says, this is a real offer. Like, this isn't a phony offer. A 36% premium is a real premium, and we have to take that offer seriously. Now, Twitter, of course, invoked the poison pill, which is an effort to make sure that he can't do a hostile takeover. I think that may have been just for negotiating tactics. But either way, the Twitter board had to take this offer seriously. It was at a good premium. It was from someone that uses a product that has a ton of leverage and social clout, Elon Musk. He can say whatever he wants. He can crush people's reputations. So they have to take this serious for a couple reasons. He has a huge personality, he has a huge bully pulpit, and he has a ton of money. And he gave them an offer with a decent premium. So if you're the Twitter board, you know that if you don't take this offer, you're going to get ripped apart. You have a fiduciary responsibility to be able to take an offer that's in the best benefit of your shareholders. And if you're the Twitter board and you have that 36% premium offer there with financing, you have no other potential sellers because nobody else is buying Twitter for that price. You have to justify why you wouldn't take that offer other than we just want to keep our jobs. That can't be the justification because you have that fiduciary responsibility. So the Twitter board was in an impossible situation. They basically would have to say, we don't care about the shareholders, we only care about our jobs. And you just can't do that. I could see them getting ripped apart throughout all media with everybody, every single shareholder of Twitter, if they didn't take this deal. So that's why I said, I think Elon ends up with this. There's just too many factors at play. He is serious about the deal. The deal was a decent premium, and I don't see any other potential buyers stepping in and paying $44 billion for it. I don't see Apple doing that or Microsoft or anyone else because Twitter, frankly, is kind of a difficult website to manage, and it has all those freedom of speech issues that Elon Musk seems like he wants to take on. Now, here's a statement that was released soon after it was announced that Elon Musk had his deal accepted by the Twitter board. And this is where he tries to explain why he's buying Twitter and the future of it, right? A lot of people think that he's being dishonest here. They try to debate the real reason that he wants to own Twitter. They try to say that it's for financial reasons, and they're plugging in valuations and stuff and saying that, Elon Musk is buying this for a financial reason. I don't think that makes sense. Elon Musk has $250 billion of net worth. If he really wanted to squeeze out some more money in his net worth for whatever reason, there's better places to do that. There's better investments right now than Twitter. Frankly, there's just better ones. The market's sold off. There's plenty of things that Elon Musk could buy if his goal is just to make more money. So I think that there are specific reasons outside of monetary ones that Elon Musk wants to own Twitter, and he highlights them here. First of all, the biggest indicator is he's excited about this. He has yes with 3 exclamation marks and heart emojis and rocket emojis, right? He's really excited about this. He's buying something that I think that he loves. He loves Twitter. He's on it all the time. He uses it every single day. And that's a fun thing, right? I can't really relate to this level, but when I buy something that I really am looking forward to, right? If I'm buying a 70-inch OLED TV and I'm putting it on the wall and installing it, that's a happy day. I'm excited. Now, Elon Musk's version of that is buying a $44 billion world social media network. So we're at different scales. I'll buy a TV. Elon Musk can buy social media networks. But regardless, buying new things is usually fun. It's a little bit of an endorphin rush. And Elon Musk is buying a social network. Now, having said that, he outlines other reasons that he wants to own Twitter. He says free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy. So free speech is the first thing that he mentions. And Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital for the future of humanity are debated. That's great. I think that he views it with high esteem. I view Twitter completely differently. I think it's a place where people just spout off the last thing that came to their head. And a lot of times it's fun to watch, see people's random thoughts and ideas just go on the internet immediately. But regardless, there are some important things on Twitter. Lots of news shared there and debates had. And he says that free speech is a bedrock of a functioning democracy. I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open source to increase trust. So a lot of people think that there's funny business going on with the algorithms. If there's a political candidate that the executives or whoever at Twitter don't like, maybe they don't show their posts as much, right? There's little things that they could tweak like that, and nobody would be the wiser because it would be very difficult to reverse engineer what's going on. So if you had an open source algorithm, you could actually trust the platform that everybody's voice is being shared equally, and everybody has a fair shot to have their voice shared in the algorithm. If you don't know what's going on in the algorithm, there's many things that they could do to slightly silence some people and slightly make some voices louder than others. And there's a lot of reasons that people believe that Twitter is doing just that. They're injecting their personal political biases in the way that they're enforcing their algorithms, in the way that they're enforcing their rules, the way that they're censoring different posts and different information. There's a lot of that problem with trust on Twitter. And what it's done is alienate a lot of potential users from Twitter. So if the algorithm was completely open source, if everybody was ensured that you have an equal chance to have your voice heard and to have your post be spread, and that you're not going to be silenced for sharing your opinion, I think it would actually cause a lot more people that were previously skeptical of Twitter to come back on. That would be the benefit of it. But he also mentions defeating spam bots. That's a big thing that every social media platform is dealing with right now, not just Twitter. YouTube has a bunch of them right now. But they want to get rid of spam bots and authenticating all humans. This one I think is incredible. I have 13,000 followers on Twitter. Every single post I make gets like 200 plus hearts on it. Sometimes they get 1,000 plus, right? It has a decent level of engagement. I have 250,000 people subscribed on YouTube, and I can't get verified on Twitter. They will not verify me. And there's people that pretend to be me that are really scammers trying to use my name to scam different people, right? They message you. So having your name verified, I think would be a very important thing. He says, I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock this potential in the company. So that's a statement. Pretty straightforward. He wants it to be more free speech driven, to be more transparent, to get rid of spammers and scammers, and to have everyone be authenticated. Now, of course, there's a fair amount of critics of Elon Musk. People don't like him, that don't like that he's buying Twitter, and they don't like his views on free speech. They think it will lead to lots of misinformation and problems with Twitter, lots of trolls and bullies and misinformation. And that is the problem of content moderation at scale. There's a lot of people that are suggesting that even though Elon Musk is very smart and he solved a lot of problems with EVs and SpaceX and all the different things that he's working on, he simply is not at the point that he can figure out content moderation at scale. And that's something that I just think is silly. Is Parag and the executive team at Twitter really more equipped to solve this problem than Elon Musk? Look at their track records of solving problems throughout history. Who has a little bit better of a track record of starting numerous companies and solving thousands and hundreds of thousands of various problems, real problems? I think that Elon Musk has a slightly better track record of problem solving than Parag at Twitter. So I think there's a better chance that Twitter has its issues solved now than it did before. Now, again, Elon Musk is not popular with a lot of people, including, I think, many of the employees at Twitter. Nor should he be. I think out of all the losers in this situation, everybody that really has something to lose, I think the biggest group that loses from this is the CEO, Parag of Twitter, the directors at Twitter, and the employees at Twitter. Frankly, I think that the employees have a lot to lose. They have had a pretty easy work environment, having, I think, a relaxing work environment compared to what Elon Musk is going to give them. I think Elon Musk is going to be much more pressing with changes and much more of a kind of forceful figure in moving Twitter along in the right direction. And I think that a lot of the employees at Twitter have various views on censorship and freedom of speech that differ from Elon Musk's, to the point where they're actually locking down the platform. It says that Twitter locked down changes to its social networking platform through Friday after accepting the $44 billion bid from billionaire Elon Musk, making it harder for employees to make unauthorized changes, according to people familiar with the matter. So they're locking it down. Nobody can make unauthorized changes because they're fearful that some of the disgruntled employees that really hate Elon Musk will make some damaging change to Twitter on their way out, right? Now, that's something that I think it's unlikely that an employee would do that because they would get caught doing that. It would destroy their future. Nobody else would hire them. But regardless, sometimes people can do emotional things if they're going out the door. So I view this as a way of Twitter just protecting itself, knowing that this is a very much political thing going on right now. There's a lot of people that are very involved in this and they have very strong feelings, so they're just trying to protect themselves. They say that any product changes will require approval from the vice president. Twitter imposed a temporary ban to keep employees who may be miffed about the deal from going rogue. Exactly. They don't want any employee going rogue and causing problems with Twitter. So that's basically what's gone on. I think the deal will go through. There's always a chance the deal could fall through. There's always a small chance of that. But in this case, I think Elon Musk is highly motivated. So I think there's a very good chance of this going through. And I think the biggest indicator that this was ultimately going to happen, without a doubt, I mean, there was just no chance that it wouldn't happen, is this right here. The biggest single indicator that this deal was going to happen was back in April, Jim Cramer saying, quote, Twitter's board has no choice but to reject Elon Musk's offer. That's when I knew that this deal was going through. So that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed the update, and I'll see you in the next one.